What up, what up, what up to all my kings, queens, and you motherfuckers in between. We are here again with yet another episode of Interviewing Entrepreneurs of Color. And today we have Karolina Beatz. Go ahead and just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Karolina Beatz out of Spartanburg, South Carolina, born and raised as well. Been doing this music thing for almost 3 years now, as far as production wise. So it's been a fun little journey thus far.
Dang, has it
Uh,
really been 3 years?
just about almost towards the end of the should be 3 years, but this year is moving so fast. We're almost in March, so yeah, it'll
That's
be
all
about three
like,
years.
dang, 3 years. I remember when you first started, it came out with it.
Yeah, man. I was thinking about that. I made a post earlier tonight talking about my MPC. This is what I do all my work off of, and how I started with my laptop in GarageBand. Uh, if anybody was like, started in GarageBand, yeah, because GarageBand is very, very, very basic. And then when I switched over to Logic, which is the next step up, it gave me more things I could do within my production. But I knew that when I got to a certain part in Logic, I had to go to another level. So the next level was the MPC, which allows me to really do some crazy things with uh, any sample that I pick and choose. So
You said that was
yeah,
NPC?
MPC. Now ask me what MPC stands for. Couldn't tell you, but
I
it's
know
by
it was.
yeah but it's by a Kai professionals. They have a slew of other things as well as a software called MPC Beats, which is what I tried to learn at first. And when I had like a little, it's in my closet, I had like a little 16 pad deal with a couple of knobs. All right, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna be the man on this thing. I sat in front of MPC Beats and I was just like, this looks like calculus, but in Russian. Yeah, this ain't gonna work. I gotta go to GarageBand. I couldn't figure out NPCB. Like I know no matter what I did. And had I known, had I really said, nah, just sit in front of YouTube and really learn it, I would have been okay. But and I'm kind of glad I didn't try to sit there in front of NPCBs and learn it. I'm glad that I did try GarageBand and it was switched to Logic, which got me to the NPC because now I'm pretty sure if I went to the software, I could flow through it easily because it's the same thing that I deal with on here. So that's kind of I say a blessing in disguise that I went the
Mhm.
opposite way instead of trying to sit there and learn. And I had to learn GarageBand through some YouTube videos. And when I switched to Logic, it was a lot of videos. And then when I got to the NPC, I think I went through YouTube and I said I'm gonna get this. Y'all ain't gonna stop me. I went through every YouTube video I could possibly find. I'd be at work looking up
Mhm.
videos trying to figure out how to use it. And when I made that first beat, I was just like, oh my God, it's okay, we're good. I was sweating bullets.
No
And I go,
way. Not you
yeah, when I
sweating
when I go
bullets.
back and listen to when I go back and listen to it, I'm like, oh, when I listen to like the earlier beats, I'm just like, God, like it sounds ugh. And then like even beats towards the end of last year, I go back and listen to them, I go like, damn, I don't know what I was thinking. Like and now it's just like sit down, I'm just like, all right, I can just figure this out as I go, and it's fun to do it. Like I had a session in my boy's crib, and he had all these dudes come over, and his manager was like, "This is the guy. He's a sample guy. He can pull him out. He can pull him out of nowhere, no matter what." And the guy was like, "All right, well, let's test him. Uh, I got this juvenile sample in my head I've been wanting to use." So I'm like, "Which one?" I'm hoping he's not saying that. So he said, "Nah, it says slow motion." And I was just like, "Okay, I know that one." And then he was like, nah, that's not it. He said, that's not the one. As he went back and listened to it, he goes, nah, that's not the one. So he's going through songs, going through songs, going through songs. Like, he's going through every song and watching me back that ass up. And sure enough, it was just like, Wheel of Fortune, just oh, bankruptcy is just back that ass up. So I'm sitting there going like, Guy Alice is like the hit now from back that ass up. So was clearing his day. So I flip this another way. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna put my headphones on. I'm just gonna work it. And dude's manager's like, hey man, you mind if you just hook it up to the speaker and just like kind of do it live in front of everybody? I'm just going like, huh? What? And my manager, my bro is in the corner. He's just, man, easy. I think I played the whole song, ran through the NPC, went to the end, and I was just like, all right. And I just kind of hit like about 4 or 5 keys, and I found my rhythm.
Mm-hmm.
Found my rhythm, and then I lay out the drums, and then I laid out sample, and I kind of just stopped and was going through something. And out the like left corner of the room, you just hear another dude goes, "I'll tell y'all one thing. This fool may not know how to do nothing else, but he gonna know how to flip a sample. That's all I can tell y'all." And I was just like, "Oh my god!" Like,
Now, for real, like use a beast with them samples, okay? I'll be
I'm
like,
trying.
hey.
I be trying my best to like. I be trying my best. Most people they stick to like one thing that they sample, and I try to figure out like what else can I sample. Like I've sampled Tennessee whiskey, which is like that's a one country song that black people are like, oh, we love some Tennessee whiskey, and I was just like, well, how can I do something with that? Let me flip that. Then my homeboy he goes, hey, you ever heard that Rude World by Tears for Fears? And I was just like, yeah. He goes, flip that, and I went like, you just said it's like I just could snap my fingers and do anything. He goes,
You damn right.
yeah, yeah. So now it's like, what can I flip? Like I flipped last night. No, I was like night before I was on live. What was the night before? I'm getting my days mixed up because I do so many beats a day. But I flipped Marvin Gaye's and Tammy Terrell's Precious Love. And I was finished it and I was just like, I tell my homeboy, I said, I really might be a genius. Like, he goes, what you do this time? And I sent it to him. He goes, ain't no might be. I'm just like, okay. So it's the inner competitiveness to make something good. So I
Mm-hmm.
try to like push myself to like step outside the box. Everybody like now what's the major thing? Everybody wants to sample like 90s and early 2000s R&B
Mm-hmm.
and Bryson Tiller it and Drake it. Yeah, that's cool. I can do it, but how can I flip this obscure 1980s Portugal sample that's like a disco funk soul record or a 1980s, 1970s Japanese jazz fusion record or some
Yeah.
random South American record. Like I found a new website that literally it's like a roulette, a random roulette. You hit the country and then you pick a decade from like 1930 to 2000s and it just gives you one random song and it's like this takes a lot of my having to go through stuff because 9 times out of 10 I usually get something I can work with. So on days where like I'm going through YouTube and I can't find nothing. I'm going through Tracklib, I can't find nothing. I go through all my records, some of them sitting right behind me, and I can't find nothing. I go to that site and I just about 2 clicks in, I've got a dope sample. So uh, that's pretty much that's a real thing as well to test my abilities to can I truly flip almost anything?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, because Jay Dilla, who's like number one is production, that was his thing. Like people would be like, he literally tell you, pick any record, any song, any part, I can flip it. So it's the constant. Can I flip this? Can I flip this? And some of them, yeah, they don't win too well, and some of them they're like, yeah, like y'all never hear them. I did them just to do them, and y'all will never hear them because even if you get a hold of my hard drive, can you actually pull it up? No, you don't know them. So
Oh, yes, deeply encrypted. So let me ask you this, Dre. What made you get into music production?
I was bored. If you remember when when the pandemic hit, a lot of guys were doing DJing. Remember, I said I'm a DJ, and I started doing it on Facebook and Instagram, and then of course Facebook and Instagram got to being little punks, and started hitting them copyrights and you know
Yeah.
silencing. And I don't know. I just got to a point where people was like, "But we enjoy you. Like, you're entertaining. You're fun." I'm like, "Yeah." I was like, "It was fun. It was cool." But I was just like, "Now I'm just tired of it." They said, "Well, go to Twitch." I'm like, "That's kind of hard to pull everybody over to Twitch because not everybody is on Twitch. Not everybody is going to come to a Zoom call. You know, most of the people who stop by just because they was on Facebook. They go, "Oh, well, you're on today. Cool. I'm just going to watch you." So I got tired of it. I just got to watching random YouTube videos and started searching Knife Wonder, who's number two on my list, from out of North Carolina. And I started watching his production videos, and then there was this thing called Master Pills Rhythm Roulette, which is a series they just brought back. And they would basically take producers to a record store, say, hey, pick three records, blindfolded, randomly, and then go make something out of it.
Mm-hmm.
So I watched his, and then it was like David Banner, and then it was Dame Grease, and a bunch of other people I recognize as producers. And then the more I started watching, the more I watched the other people I didn't know, and I became fans of theirs, like Cardiac, as well as Crisis, who was out of North Carolina. And I just kept saying, man, this is dope. Then I found another series called Geniuses Deconstructed, where they would take a popular song and they would go to the producer and they would give the backstory of how they came to work with the artist, what they got into when they were making the beat, how they made the beat, starting from the sample drums, what it meant for them, all that stuff. And I was just like, man, most people talk, this seems easy. I can do this. I'm gonna try this. Because I always liked the music production. I was always a fan of that. Always a fan of the DJ as
Mm-hmm.
well. I never wanted to be the guy on the stage with the microphone. Everybody give it. I would want to be the guy that was like make the beat, do the DJ and scratch him. So I went Guitar City, got the little pad and came home. I just started getting to it, and uh, it was rough. It was very rough, very very rough. And the one of the main reasons I got bored, but I also wanted to do music with my brother before he passed away. And I just kept getting into it. And the more I just kept studying, more I just kept getting into it, the more it just took off to where I started at. I was like, when I first started, I was just, yeah, man, be cool if I did a track for Ariel in it so I can holler at her and try to propose, or SZA, the same thing. Or want to work with, Masego and other people. And I was like, yeah, I would love to go work with J. Cole, da 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 da. But you just thinking out loud, like, all right, it'd be cool. But as we progress, it's kind of got to a point where it's just like it seems more realistic than anything to work with a bigger artist.
Listen, you got to speak that into the universe, honey, so it can
Yeah.
happen.
Well,
Okay,
if you
you
can, if
are
you can
gonna
kind of,
work with Masego. You
if you
are
can see
gonna
that
work with J.
my
Cole.
painting. So this, if you see, you can't really see, but there's a piece of paper right behind these records. That's my manifestation list. And on that
Yes.
manifestation list is like a list of things like want to work with Tyler Creator, Method Man, J. Cole, Kendrick. I want to sit in the session with Knife One to learn from him. I want to sit in the session with Pharrell and learn from him. Uh, TV, movies. I want to do at least one track for an Issa Rae project. Uh, as
I
well.
love
There's another, yeah. There's West Side Gun. I want to do a track for West Side Gun featuring my homeboy Najee, who I'm working on his next project, along with having Big E from the WWE as the intro on the track. Because anybody that knows West Side Gun knows he's a huge wrestling fan. So, and my homeboy Najee is a huge wrestling fan. So I thought it would be like something, have both of them, and then get Big E to do his preacher
mm,
voice on there. So that's actually top of the list.
I
So,
loved it. Now, during your journey of doing music production, what have you found to be most challenging?
most challenging. I don't want to. I'll say it's two things. Uh, being consistent and creating content, and then also being able to sift through the BS. Um, the content has become a little bit easier because I can literally just turn on my MPC, pull up a beat that no one's heard, point my phone in my MPC, and play the beat for like 10 to 30 seconds, and like, all right, post. There's content. That's the easy part.
Mm-hmm.
That's become a little bit easier to do and push myself to do. Just sifting through the BS because a lot of people can feed you a dream. What's the thing that women say about something is like, oh, they'll sell you potential. They'll sell you a dream. It's like, if you, I promise
That
you,
part.
yeah, yeah. And as well, and I say a lot of people will sift you the dream. I can't tell you how many people that I've met in 3 years that swear they're the best in the Southeast, that swear they're the best in the South, that they got the biggest movement going. And they will sell you on the dream. They'll try to pull you in and uh, try to use you. And you've got to be very keen on that. Like now I get so many messages that I forget to check my requested messages. And the proper way to go about that would be like, hey man, I came across your page, you got really dope stuff. I understand you got a lot of people coming at you, but I would love to work with you. Here's some of my stuff. Let me know what you think. See if we can be, compatible to work together in the future. That would be the perfect way to do it. But you get a lot of people just, yo, that's it. Or, hey, let me hear a beat like this. Or send me some stuff. I've never talked to you a day in my life. And then when you check out their page, it's like two posts. Sometimes it's zero posts,
Oh.
couple hundred followers with no post. Like, how are you trying to be an artist and you don't have a flyer? You don't have you in the studio. You don't have a clip of your music. You don't have a music video clip of none of this stuff, but you want me to work with so you got to sift through all that BS as well and try to figure out who's real, who's actually putting in the work,
Mm-hmm.
you know, who's gonna pay you, and not just want
Okay, because let's talk about it. Okay.
that back end stuff. So yeah. And yes, some people might think I'm coming off as entitled and a prick because I don't return messages. But why, when you send me a message, and sometimes it's not even a good uh professional message to start off this conversation,
Mm.
and I go to your page, there's little to no content, or you claim to be so big and going so well, but you have no follower as well. But you're coming to me because you see my follow count is slowly going up. So you want to jump on here and try to use this to project yourself
Mm-hmm.
as well. And then, you tell them the price and they swear to God it's too high. Well, for me, and there's no disrespect to anybody else in production as well, there are a lot of people, splice loopers. They go to Splice or another site, they pull the loop. I mean, I started like this, but I would try to chop them up and move them around, at least try to give them a little bit of difference.
Mm-hmm.
But, they go to Splice, pull one, pull a track, pull some drums, and they say, all right, I made this beat. And there's no disrespect because there's somebody that probably did that and made a banger that's hard in the club. So I'm not discouraging it. But for me, my stuff takes a little bit more. I put a little bit more into it. I put my soul in it. Trying to sit here, find the perfect sample. When I find the perfect sample, going through it, manipulating the sample to how I feel it and how I hear it in my head, figuring out the drums, figuring out arrangement, figuring out extra sounds. When I drag it over to my laptop, then I got to do all this extra, editing and uh, putting everything into levels so that it sounds nice when you go back and listen to it. And one sounds not too harsh than the other.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot just to get to that point. Like somebody was like, "You just ain't got nothing sitting around." It's like, no, I don't pull nothing off this NPC unless it's got to get used, or I'm about to
Right.
put it online. I want to put it online in a format to where it sounds a little bit more appeasing, just me playing it over my speakers, as well, because I don't want that stuff easily accessible because people will be looking to try to take. People do that all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I'm so selective and one who I work with because I'm not gonna put just anybody on my stuff and then people are like, oh, this is a dope beat, but the rhymes is trash. No, no, you know. And I'm very protective of my stuff because I know that people will want to try to get their hands on what I do to boost themselves because you hear the stories where it says, oh yeah, man, I sent this stuff to this other guy who's a bigger producer and he took everything off except for that melody and did like two tweaks to it and then added some drums to it and was like, yeah, I did this. And I got
Mm-hmm.
nothing off of it. So, you know, you put me in the room with somebody that's like, yeah, man, just send me that. I'm like, nah, bro, you ain't, I'll, I'll, I'll go to the back of the line before I just give you this. And you act like you did it, like you put the time in. You didn't put the time in. And then
That
don't sit
part.
here and act like you can go back and redo it because you can't, because you don't know how I did it. You don't even know the sample. Like you say, I know that sample. No, you don't. I promise you, you don't. Because I look for very obscure stuff. So,
No, you do,
uh,
because some stuff I be like,
yeah,
oh, I heard this, but I'm liking it
yeah,
because it's different.
yeah. And that's the thing. Like I can sit here. Of course, yeah. I go and I do like some popular stuff that everybody knows, and I flip it because you got to have that in the repertoire as well. But at the same time, nah, I'm gonna. I'm gonna go pick this very obscure 1970s random out there record from somebody you never heard of, and I'm gonna flip it and then make you go like, I would have never thought of that. Exactly. I know you would have never thought of that because you stuck over here. I'm over here. And the rest of
Mhm.
the field area, you stuck over here with everybody else in these apartments. I'm over here on my own land.
That part. Now, let me ask you this. How do you feel about music today versus like 10, 15 years ago, or even before our time?
When you say 10, 15 years ago, I'm thinking like, what, that's 2000. I'm thinking like right when I'm like college, right after college time for me. So I'm thinking about that Roscoe Dash, turn up everybody mohawks and polo shirts with glasses and a chain
Yes.
and flip phones and Motorola's and sidekicks. But even going back further than that, early
Look, young
2000s.
jock in them. Meet me in
Yeah,
the
oh my
trap.
God.
It's going down.
Yeah. LRG and Bathing Apes and stuff like that. I'm thinking about that, but
Told your
uh
boy, tell him.
yeah, like rubber band chains and baggy and super baggy pants that look like capri shorts on dudes. It's like short so baggy. It's like, are you wearing capri shorts or are those just too
The
big for you?
oversized tees that look like nightgowns. Yes.
Going to the going to the gas station and get a fresh white tee before you hit the club.
Ah.
That was the times. That was the times. Um, you know, everything is progressive. Everything moves forward, and it's one of those things where you can't really fight it because it's gonna happen. So, a lot of older producers, I hear the stories, a lot of old producers talk, oh man, these young dudes, they're tearing away the music, they're tearing away the music, tearing away the music. Um, it's something you have to accept. Do I agree with everything going on music wise? I listen to everything? No. My listening is very basic, uh, I ain't gonna say prehistoric, but very older stuff. Of course, I'm gonna be on a new J. Cole or Kendrick type track because I
Mhm.
love their music and their production. But I understand that this era now of like artists and producers are trying to get that TikTok, Instagram crowd. They can make a track that everybody on Instagram and TikTok uses. It's gonna be, it's gonna open eyes to them because people are gonna want who made it, and then they're gonna go find something else from them. So I get that. Do I try to make my music for all that? No, I make it just because I feel it and I like it.
Mhm.
Um, so that's one thing. But just as far as production and how artists approach things now. Yeah, they're very different. Like I said, I don't agree with everything, but I can respect it as well. Um, I, it's different strokes for different folks. Music is one thing to where some people try to like crucify people for their music taste, but they shouldn't because what speaks to you may not speak to another person. You know, I saw a thing where it says musical hot takes. And one dude jumped on there and says, "Man, we don't want to hear no daggone jazz instrumentals over no beats. So Jake Kenji needs to go sit down somewhere." And I just went like, okay, and I don't want to hear the same trap beat 20 different ways as well. So you go sit down. So it's different strokes for different folks. Not everybody's gonna have the same taste. You put 10 people in the room, they might agree on five different songs. The other five they're gonna disagree like crazy. Uh, and it's not because their music taste is wrong. It's just people listen to different things. So the way that music is moving, it is what it is. You like what you like. You deal with what you deal with. Uh, and that's basically the whole deal.
Because I mean, like you said, just over time. Because I mean, because different parts of music has changed drastically and also in my opinion for the worse. Like rap, hip hop, I feel like that shit is garbage because all they do is mumble and all they talk about is getting fucked up and fucking bitches and selling drugs. And it's like,
Hmm.
can we talk about something else? And can you speak a little bit more clearly?
I go to quite a few showcases now, especially here in Spartanburg, because the people that put on the showcases here work for B100 Radio and Miss Deb, who do affiliation of Gucci Man as well, who actually be up here Saturday. But you know, I go to these showcases, and I went to the last one, and I was talking to my brother and his other artist he managed, and my homegirl, and I was just kind of going like, I'm looking at this crowd. A lot of these beats are going to sound the same. A lot of the drums are going to sound the same. A lot of the content is going to be the same. And they went, "How do you know?" I said, "Trust me." I was like, "It's the ear I developed." And sure
Mm-hmm.
enough, it exactly was what I thought it was. Now, at the same time, there were a couple that stood out. And I went to them and I was like, I like that because it stuck out.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, the same type of you put it on, it's a different voice, different arrangement, same type of like content, and it's like you beg for something different as well. Like, please just give me something different. Give me something that sticks out. So when you have these older rappers that may get on the feature with these new guys that are rapping like that, and they get on there and they body them on their own song, it sticks out. It's like what's the producer? Buck Wild, who made Biggie Smalls, I Got a Story to Tell.
Mm-hmm.
Producer, he says Big was still alive. Big would like be jumping on everything. He'd be like, "Oh, that's your style? Cool. Watch how I flip it." He was like, he would want to work with the Migos. He would want to work with a Drake. He would want to work with these different artists to show that I can get on that and I can kill it as better, if not better than you. You
Mm.
know. So, there's a market for someone to have that same type of, flow, but put out something super, super hard. You know, I feel like a lot of people are copying the Migos style,
Mm.
uh, as far as the cadence. But
Tell you, I feel like with the Migos, all their albums had like that same beat, that same flow. And I'm like, can we switch it up a little bit?
but at the same time, they patterned that, and everybody was like, "Oh, we like that. Let's do." Everybody does that. So guess what? You follow the style that everybody wants to do. How many times you hear it? And then even now, like that high pitched mumble rap. A lot of people do that. I forgot who started it, but they do it like crazy. And like I said, that's cool. There is a market of people who love that. That's
That's
their choice. And I'm
that.
not saying that's bad. For me, I don't take the time to listen to it. Not because I hate it. It's just because it's just not my thing. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I've been stuck and because of the Wu Tang stuff, I've been stuck in like in a Wu Tang, Dave East, you know, J. Cole, Logic, local artist type stuff that give me a different vibe than what's on the radio. But that's the market. That's what gets pushed. That's what the labels want to push because that's what's popular.
Let me ask you this. What should everyone in your industry either stop or start doing?
Stop relying on labels. Oh, I'm got to get signed. I got to get signed, dude. We live in such a different age. It makes no sense. You can look at Lil Russell, prime example. Anybody know who Lil Russell is? Please go research him because this dude legit is independent to the max, and he did it his own way to it. The labels want to come to him. He can literally be like, I'll think about it. And they just really they want to take advantage of the following he has. That's the thing. It used to be, even if you had the smallest buzz or no buzz, record labels would go like, all right, we'll put a buzz behind you and pop a new artist. They don't want to do that. They want to find an artist that got a following. Then they go sign them
Mm.
as well. And I saw this today. I want to say it was either him or somebody else said, Think about this. If they looking for artists that's got a following, they got 5, 10,000, 30,000 followers, guess what? They're gonna try to come for you and take you and give you this messed up deal to own publishing and all your mastering. By the time you get to 30,000 followers, 50,000 followers, 100,000 followers, and you don't have a record deal, what do you need the label for? DistroKid is a one-time fee a year. You can upload your album to it and put it on all digital streaming platforms. Then there are services that will print CDs. You can make your own CDs. But if you want a really nice one, they got services that will make you CDs. They will make you vinyl records. You can sell vinyl records. You can go get t-shirts made. You can get those stickers made. And you can put together a little mini tour of performing at all these places and really keep yourself independent. Stop seeking out labels. Try to build your own stuff and get your money first. Then if the label comes and you decide you want to sign with a label, get as much out of them as you can. Oh, you come to me because I got 100,000 followers. Well, obviously you need me more than I need you because I'm already doing all this. So in this turn, I want to own this. I want to own this. I want this, and I want this. If they want you bad enough, they're gonna sign on the dotted line.
Okay, they're gonna write
Yeah.
that check. Okay.
So stop relying so heavily on labels because we live in such an independent technological age to where if you've got a following of 10,000 people and you get on live in the studio and play some music, they ain't heard yet. What's they gonna do? Generate the buzz. Oh, we want to hear more of it. We ready to hit. You got to drop a mixtape, drop an album, you got a single, you got something. You know, we as artists, whether it be music, whether it be comedy, whether it be acting, whatever, we as artists are dealers and our fans are fiends. And if we can kind of keep them hooked, you're gonna have steady customers. You know, it's that New Jack City dope. It just be calling me, baby. You keep on coming back, keep on calling for it. You know what I mean? So stay consistent. That's what that content, that C word, content is so important. Gotta keep consistent content, whether it's just a video clip of you in the studio working, whether it's a clip of a song, a flyer. You gotta keep stuff to build yourself up so that you don't need these labels. The labels need us more than we need them, especially nowadays time. Back in the day, before the age of digital streaming, when you needed millions of CDs and tapes and records to be printed, yeah, you needed to get to a label so they could get that to you, to your fans. Now, man, everybody's digital streaming platform. I just put a new album, digital streaming platform. Apple, Tidal, Spotify, YouTube Music, Amazon. You have so much that you can do to use to your advantage if you don't need these labels all the time. Yeah, labels nice to have because the money and you can get some more endorsements. But
Mm-hmm.
stop fiending for the label. Stop fiending so much for it because there are people who are out there making the money independently without the label. You can do it too. You just gotta put the work in.
Now, by any chance, could we hear something from you? One of your productions? A little snippet?
Let's see if it. Well, since we did talk about this, let me go find it. 'Cause I'm actually on my NPC. Because like I said, I don't transfer a lot to my laptop until it's time to like piece something together for a record.
Listen,
Uh,
if that damn showcase wasn't 2 hours away, I would be there. I was like, damn, my car's a little bit fucked up. And I ain't got no herbal essence to be smoking. That's gonna be a harsh 2 hour drive.
yeah. I mean, I listen. SC Lo-Fi. So let's talk about SC Lo-Fi. Started by Mo Sally. Um, for like 6 months, 6 to 8 months. This was before I came along. He was doing it by himself. He had his NPC and his laptop, and he would just play beats for about 4 hours. And a couple people showed up, and they had it going. And then the dude out of Greenville, Tosh Torrance, I met him at another cipher. He was like, "Man, you got dope stuff. You need to come to SC Lo-Fi." And I was just like, "I don't know, man. I'll think about it." I went. Because I was just like, man, I'll go. I went over there. Everybody was like, yo, you got some dope stuff. Now, mind you, I'm the rookie. Like, I haven't been producing that long. These people, they've been doing it for years. And they was just like, dope stuff. I was like, word? They was like, yeah, please don't stop. And that pushed me. So, a lot of times I meet other producers, I tell them, yo, you need to come. Like, I tell MCs, yo, you need to come. Even if you just spit half a bar, just come. Even if you ain't got but 3 beats to play those 3 beats. There's gonna be somebody that rocks with them. And now the movement is built to where, we had Dane Grease come through. Nobody doesn't know who Dane Grease is. Dane Grease was DMX's producer. He made Get At Me Dog. He came through. He actually lives in the upstate of South Carolina. He took time to come through and show his love. And he even brought his phone out and started playing beats as well. And dudes was freestyling over Dane Grease beats. Who can sit here and say, yo, I freestyle over Dane Grease beat? So the movement is taking off as well. So anybody in the upstate area, when we have these events, please come out. Maybe in the future, when the car gets right, we got Herbal Essence. Come on, come on down, and we love to have you as well too. But
I definitely want to, get some content of that, because just from what I've seen you post, I'm like, yo, that is a whole vibe. I might fuck around and drop a bar. So okay.
Man, listen, I've got up there and I just messed around dropping freestyles because I just like I'm gonna go ahead and just say something random. And they're like, "Oh, that's actually a dope bar." I'm like, "Well, I guess," but I'm not really trying to be like, "Yeah," because there are guys that they get up there and they just one dude named died. Rick the Ruler had Shyland Flowers come through, spit some uh, wordplay look. Uh, the shop owner, Frank, his sons, they come every SC5 and all of them can spit. Dot's dad, uh, crosswords, old school cat, but spit bars that make young guys just go like, and how old is he? And he spitting like that? It's just, it's a vibe of no one's trying to come in and go like, yeah, I'm about to murder everybody on these beats. I'm about to murder everybody on these bars. It's just like everybody comes in, everybody's like, yo, it's good to see you. I ain't seen you. I've been watching you online. I'm so happy to see you. And everybody's like, I come in, they go like, yeah, we don't drink out something that's just off the wall. So we just wait on it. And then, there's other guys. I do the same thing too. I'm just like, man, here come this fool. He about to have something crazy. We had one guy come in. First beat he played he flipped a Cheers show theme song.
Mm-hmm.
And when I heard it, I just said, I need you to unplug that and get out. We don't want to see you here no more because that's just sick. We had a guy that's produced for a tribe called Quest. Shout out to Amiri. He came in with the old school AXR Pro with a shoebox full of floppy disks. He's changing out, putting new floppy disks, to play them on the thing. And I'm going like, that's the most incredible thing I've seen. He goes, shut up. You do some incredible stuff. I'm like, well, I didn't produce for a tribe called Quest. You have. So, sir. you know, and he's just like, and he's trying to, he's being humble, he's downplaying it. And it's just like, yeah, that was cool. But I'm just like, no, Five Dog, the abstract, like, you're not going to go past this. Like, Q-Tip, Q-Tip, the producer, like, come on, man. Like, you just ain't gonna stride past that. Like, that's not one of the most dope things because I'm sure you, like me, A Tribe Called Quest was one of the soundtracks of our childhood. Like,
Okay.
you had that older cousin that put you on there, and you go, what is this? So you produce for them, sir. Hush. You know, uh, it's just one of the most dope things to be a part of as well. And like I said, anybody that's in the area, please come out. We do this at a black owned store down here called Hydarian's Dream. Mr. Frank and Miss Vaughn are, two of the nice people I've met to allow us to come in there. And they be hype about the event. They be ready. So by the time we get there, they are, you know, they've got everything set up and they just like, I can't wait to hear what y'all got. I'll be at one event. I said, before I come to the next event, what's an artist you want me to sample? They be like, I want to see you sample this, and I go like, all right, let me go home and sample that just for them. It's a vibe. It's really a vibe. There are videos online of it, And like I said, I can't wait for you to come down and meet everybody and hang out. I got another homegirl who drives trucks. When she sees an event, she tries to be off, so she doesn't have to drive trucks, so she can come down to the events to check them out. So that's her thing. I posted. I sent her the flyer. And she goes, "Oh, thank God! I was waiting for the next one." So uh, I could go on about it all day. I'm really appreciative for the platform they gave me, and uh, you know, making me a better producer because I got to keep up with some bad mofo's. And they be like, "We got to keep up with you." No, 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 no. Everybody here has been more experienced than me. I'm keeping up with y'all. Like that's why I do so much. I do so much so that I can like send it to like all my people. Like, hey man, what you think of this? They be like, oh, that's dope. I'm like, all right, cool. I get it. That's dope. Or I'm feeling it. I know I got something. So it's like I said, it's one of those things that has made me sharpen iron to become a better producer.
All right, because we kind of got carried away.
Yeah.
Play something for the people.
Oh, okay.
Play something. Well, fuck the people. Play something for me.
Well, I'm hoping that you can hear this. There we go.
No, we can't hear. Because I see you bopping, and it's like, damn, I want to hear.
Yeah, that was a Precious Love by Marvin Gaye and Tammy Terrell. I did that the other night.
Sir, we couldn't hear not a damn thing.
Couldn't hear it? Oh.
No.
Let's switch it. I thought we could hear it, so let me. Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I can hear you. I could hear that.
No. Oh.
Still no?
No.
No.
Damn.
Coming in. I don't know why it's not coming in. Let me switch my speaker to over here. Okay. I guess because I was trying to be like responsible and have like the speaker right beside me so that it didn't blow out. Because sometimes the sound will bleed. The sound will bleed. So
okay, so I don't know what you just did, but now we can't hear it.
I can't hear it. It keeps going out.
Yes.
I don't know why.
Why are you playing with us? Why are you playing with us?
I'm not playing, but I swear, like I'm literally trying to. Is that still? Hold on, I gotta do the test. So, can you hear that? No. Why?
And mind you, only got one good ear. Because my other ear is still fucked up from that ear infection.
Okay, hold on. Is that coming through? Wait. That's coming.
And then it keeps fading out.
It keeps going out?
Yes.
I think it's the sound bleeding through.
But it's okay.
That sounds
people where they can.
I think I posted this clip of this track
online. I think I did. I want to say I did. So it'll be on my social media platform.
Yes, and if you can tell people where they can find you, follow you, all that good stuff.
Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. You can find me at Karolina Beatz. That's Carolina with a K, Beats with a Z. So instead of a C in Carolina, it's a K. And instead of an S in Beats, it's a Z.
Yay!
I had to be creative with that name. So
Okay.
it was like, what's the name gonna be? And I was just thinking, what can it be? And I was just like, Carolina Beatz. So now that's everybody is stuck on that as well. And then of course, my manager, my bro Winton, to book me for sessions and stuff like that. His Instagram is the homie one time, so THAHOMIEWONTON. As well, Facebook Winton Rice, WYNTON Rice, and my booking in my email is in all of my social media platforms. So, Beats for Sale, open for studio sessions, collaborations, projects. If you got the funds, I got the goods.
Y'all heard it, gang. So I do want to thank you, Dre, for your time this evening.
No problem.
So, later, gang. Y'all stay sucker free. All right, gang. As always, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for your support. As always, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, and follow my business pages on Facebook, which is under the THEE Influence, and on Instagram, which is under the Influence 22. Until later, gang. Y'all stay sucker free.